Okay. And then I will share my screen. And again, just chime in at any time, ask questions. Tomorrow we have a fun guest. Her name is Stephanie. I might butcher her last name, Grafigna. She'll say it. She actually lives in California. I met her through Scott St. John, our first speaker, and she is into functional medicine, functional nutrition. And she's going to talk to us about how our past can actually contribute to how our health is today, which I think will be really, really cool and insightful. She's very knowledgeable and wonderful, and she's coming tomorrow at 6:30. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry for those of you who are waiting on here. I didn't realize my computer was unmute or not muted. And I was sitting over here singing and stuff. So if you heard me singing, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Too funny. I was like, oh, I'm not muted.
Got to be careful.
Yeah, I know, right? Good thing I'm home alone because who knows what conversations y'all would have heard.
Right.
Just me talking to Ella. Okay, before I start blabbing, I would love to hear from all of you about how you're currently doing, how you did with last week, focusing on your specific habit around food. Stop popping up. What is this? Um, so yeah, one at a time. Let me know what habit you decided to pick and how it went.
I guess I'm just trying to like do more of the rainbow color of like vegetables and fruits and things like that. So just even though blueberries aren't really in season, just like popping a handful of those in or just, just being very mindful. And she was saying like, I always do like, I'm not a huge starch person, but I do love them. So, um, you know, uh, but like trying to do like two real vegetables on the plate, like she was saying, two real vegetables, then like a healthy starch. Like I'm not, um, a real like I don't like rice or quinoa. I don't know. I just don't ever do that on my plate typically. Just I don't. I would rather have like vegetables and protein over that. But just trying to like add an extra vegetable really or an extra fruit and um. So that's what I've been focusing on this week from that.
Fantastic. Did you feel any difference? Do you feel like you achieved your goal? Are you proud of yourself? What are your feelings and emotions around it?
I mean, I'm just like more aware, I would say. Like, I don't know. I'm just feeling like my mom always like taught me to like you need to have like different colors on your plate. So like I do think of that, but then like adding the fourth color basically is like my thing. So I think for me just being like aware of it and then like when I'm shopping, just grabbing that extra vegetable that's like another color. So it kind of makes it more fun. Or just like not doing the same vegetables that I always do, but like grabbing another one that I don't always put into the mix or that I do less often. So um yeah, I kind of find that fun shopping by color rather than like.
That's so fun. And I was just thinking about the grocery store because you said it that way. And it's like if you look broadly at the grocery store, you're like, wow, look at this rainbow in front of me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like situated by color a little bit, like all the greens and then the orange yellows and then
Well, and
reds.
then you have like that rainbow Swiss chard that's like, is that all the colors? Does this count as like 10 vegetables?
Yeah. Yes.
You have red and yellow and orange and green and yeah, so
That's wonderful. So yeah, improving the diversity of food improves the diversity of the microbiome in your gut. That's
yeah,
great. Well done.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay, who's next? Linda.
You're muted. You're muted. She's
She's trying.
Sorry,
There we
I
go.
was I was trying to get it at the top, but I couldn't. Anyway, I was just going to say I tried to be more aware of not jumping into my food when I put it on my plate, like those taking those three breaths or just take a minute and appreciate that I have this great meal and being um, better about food prepping, especially for lunches for work.
Mm,
Kind of, like I cooked some stuff yesterday. Um, I'll be working more this week than usual. So I just thought, it's better to have it ready and then you can pack it up the night before and you've got a good option for lunch. And so those were the two that I'm kind of working on. And
Yeah.
I feel like I did pretty good. Some days I had to remind myself, you didn't stop before you put your fork in there, this, when you sat down. So trying to be more aware of that. But the prepping was good. I feel like I did a good job with that. So,
That is fantastic. And having awareness about what your week is going to be like before you jump into your week is really, really helpful. And I love that you did that. You're like, oh, this week's a little more busy. I definitely need to make sure I have healthy food choices. I can't just like whip something up as easily. So being prepared is helping you be successful. Well, really good. Love that. Okay.
I'll go next. So I had three things I wanted to focus on. One was just adding the electrolytes to my water in the morning. So I've been doing that. I do use the liquid IV and I find it's too sweet for me. So I put half in one water bottle and then my second water bottle in the morning, I put the other half in. So that works out really well. But the two things that I've really been trying to incorporate were the 3 breaths before any meals
Mm.
and also putting my fork down in between every bite. And it's interesting because I found that halfway through whatever I'm eating, I'm usually feeling like, oh, okay, I could stop eating now
Wow.
because I'm just really slowing down with what I'm eating.
Mm, that's incredible.
So that's been good.
Wow. Fantastic. Nice. I love that. Have you noticed a change in anything this week, like energy wise, or, just feeling proud of yourself or anything?
I'm feeling proud of myself, but I'm also feeling more satisfied with my meals
Mm,
and because I'm not wolfing food down. Um, Yeah, because I have a hard time. I was really good for a while, but I'm so used to just eating on the fly.
mhm.
I don't have to do that. But eating is just, it's eating. I don't feel like, okay, I should sit down and enjoy this meal. And I'm eating by myself. So I think it's a little harder to slow down and turn it into kind of an experience.
Mm, that's a really good point. Yeah. So how do you, make that time feel like an experience or enjoyable, is because I think it is important to set that time aside and enjoy your food and be
Mhm.
present.
Yeah, so that's something that I can work on. And I did kind of pay attention to eating the rainbow. I actually do eat a lot of different colored fruits and vegetables anyway. So I really focused on it. And a couple years ago, when I was doing my other program, we kind of had a month of challenges with, see how many different colors you could eat every day. And they were popping up in my memories because I took pictures of every meal. And I'm
Nice.
like, look at all those colors.
Good
So,
timing. That's cool.
so just making myself a little more aware of what I'm putting on my plate as well.
Fun. And it can be fun. It's almost like playing around and being imaginative and just like colors make people happy too. So very cool.
So
Nice.
it was
Good
good.
share. Yeah. All right, Miss Tina.
I kind of the same as pretty much all of them in different areas. I last week I always when I'm at work I eat at my desk and work right through it and eat fast too. So last week I made myself go and sit near the room with a bunch of others at the table and it was the first time I did it. I had a hard time because I kept wanting to get up and go back. But I took my time and I ate slowly and I actually enjoyed it. Um, and same as Eleanor, you know, when you keep putting the fork down, you're full before you finish the whole thing. So, and
Yeah.
then the next day, I enjoyed it. I really liked going in there. So now I'm going to start to keep doing that, going in with the other group and sit down with them and eat my lunch and just take my time. And another thing I'm doing too is meal prepping. as I did the dog's food tonight, prepping for that, I also prepped for mine at the same time. So, so, getting that stuff ready is a huge thing.
That I love that you did that. You changed one small thing and it had this ripple effect. You
Hmm.
said, I'm just going to go eat in the other room. That's one tiny little change to your day. And what happened was you slowed down your eating because you're probably socializing and you have people around. So you're talking more, which means you're slowing down because it's rude to talk with food in your mouth. And you also got the benefit of being in a social setting, like it down regulates you in that way. We are herd animals in a sense. So like being around community is really helpful. Um, yeah, that I love that so much. Good job, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing and, taking the reins on this and being like, wow, there are little things I can do and I can have a big impact. The ripple effect is happening. You're getting rewarded by changing your behaviors. And so that's, oh, so good. So proud of you. Okay. So let's move on and talk about sugar. It's very simple. Like this presentation is quick and dirty. So sugar and behavior change. We're not even going to dive deeply into carbohydrates. This is just focusing on sugar. Why is it so hard to change our behaviors around sugar? So we're going to understand habits and the biology and what actually is going to help you with that. So let's start with the truth. Most people know too much sugar isn't great. We all can probably say, yes, I understand that. I know that. Most people know they want to feel better. They struggle with the change around sugar. They feel overwhelmed with what is the right thing to do. It's not a motivation problem. You all are motivated to change. It's more about your behaviors, which is really hard to change, and biology kind of fighting back against you. So this talk is not about cutting out carbohydrates, quitting sugar forever, or being perfect. That's not possible. We don't want you to be that way. We want you to understand why your habits are going to stick or why they do stick, good or bad, how to work with your body and understand your signals around wanting the sugar, making small, repeatable changes around your sugar habit. So kind of what I just said about like Tina changing her environment and walking into the other room to eat, that was a small, repeatable change that has a bigger effect. We can do that with any single thing in our life that we want to change. And we don't have to make it complicated. So why food change is hard, particularly sugar change or food in general? Food is tied to our routines. Sometimes we just don't think about it. We grab and go, grab and go. Oh, I forgot to get lunch for the 5th time this week. I'm going to go down to, I don't know, whatever restaurants are near you and grab to go. And it might not be the best option. It's loaded with salt, blah, blah, blah. That's your routine. There's emotions usually tied to what we eat and why we eat and when we eat. That's often why we grab certain foods. We rely on food for stress relief because it's a way to disconnect. It's a way to feel comfortable. We have created a habit or a pattern around it. It's like, oh man, it's been a hard day. I want that glass of wine. It makes me feel better. Oh, I want that ice cream, that Ben and Jerry's in the freezer. I always feel better after eating it. It's convenient. So again, like I kind of just alluded to, oh, I forgot my food. I'm going to go get this food down here. Oh, I really love that. I'm going to treat myself to that sushi and all the sugary foods over there. Social connection. So your friends are like, oh, let's go out for a drink. Let's go to this place and get a really good dessert. Or let's just pack or get takeout and bring it to your house and talk. So food is very social and it does connect us. So today in our society, food is rarely considered just food and fuel for us. It is considered so many things for us. So why is sugar especially hard? Well, sugar tastes good, right? It's really good. It works really fast. So what that means is like if your body is feeling a little depleted, it's feeling tired, maybe you had a little blood sugar crash, your signals are going to say, oh, get sugar because it is one of the fastest working energy sources we can get. It is literally everywhere. Have you ever looked at what you get for food? If it has ingredients in it, you look and it's like, oh my God, sugar is like the first or second ingredient. It's like, oh my God, like barbecue sauce or like sauces in general. If you pick up a sauce, you'll see quite a bit of sugar. Speaking of sauces, the sauce I do love, if you are a sauce person, is Melinda's. It's a brand you can find in most stores, but it's sugar-free. They're really good. Different flavors, but that's a sauce that I usually recommend for people if you're a sauce person. Doo, 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 doo. Sugar is socially normal. So what do we do every time you have a birthday or a celebration? Ice cream, cake, like cookies. Oh, it's the holidays. Oh, I want to celebrate someone. It's either I'm going to bring them alcohol or I'm going to bring them a sweet treat. Sugar feels comforting. When it was used to bribe some of us as children, right? Like for me, it was like, if you eat all your dinner, you get dessert. It's like, oh, okay, that feels good. Like I get a treat or a surprise or a reward because I ate my dinner. So very comforting. Um, Sweet treats are associated with all those fun things I just talked about. So that's really comforting. Your grandmother probably made you pie or brownies, so you might connect it to the nostalgia of that. So there's such a deep-rooted emotional connection to sugar for us in our culture, particularly. So it's important to realize that all of this is not a character flaw in you. It is not about your identity. It is a much deeper rooted way that has been put in front of us in our everyday lives, and it's so hard to avoid. It's just there. All right, let's next. Okay, so why do we get sugar cravings? The biology behind that. So sugar raises your dopamine, which is our happy hormone, our reward center hormone. It tells our body, like, I want to keep doing that. Dopamine is really important, and sugar particularly will raise your dopamine. Sugar spikes your blood sugar. So when you eat the sugar, your blood sugar goes up. You're like, woo, quick energy, feel good. But that often leads to a crash because it gets used really quickly because when sugar is in the bloodstream, that is active energy. It's moving into the cells and you're using it. So it can spike really quickly and then you're done, crash, gets out of your system real quick. And when it crashes and your blood sugar is dropping, your body's like, ah, because you need a certain level in your blood for everything to be equalized in your body. And it'll signal like, ooh, we need to get more. Go get more because we're getting low. I'm worried that I'm not going to have more sugar. Go get more. So that's kind of why we get sugar cravings. Your brain learns the reward loop very quickly when you start eating sugar. It's like, okay, I have the cue. I'm hungry. Oh, I went for the sweet treat. Ooh, that was really good. And learns that the reward is feeling energy and that was delicious. And yeah, so the brain learns very quickly about wanting sugar. Oh, I kind of jumped the gun here, but let's go back to our habit loop. We've talked about every single talk, the foundation of all of this. Most sugar habits follow this. You have a trigger or a cue. Maybe it's stress, boredom, the time of day. It's time for your sugar. You have that cue. Your behavior is you eat the sugar. Woohoo, yay. The reward, you feel better. Relief, comfort, pleasure. So that's your habit loop again. So remember, what we do is we change the behavior to change habits. We will still have a trigger and a cue, but we change that behavior and get the same reward. That's how we change habits. Willpower is just simply not enough sometimes to stop the sugar cravings and overeating sugar. Why? Willpower is limited. We don't have endless willpower. Willpower actually will drop when you're stressed and fatigued because your body's just like in panic survival mode. It doesn't feel safe. It's like, okay, everything's out the window. I just need to calm down. I don't care how I do it. But willpower does not often overpower that physiological response when you're stressed or tired. Willpower happens to be the weakest at night. I don't really know why. It's just what I read. But I can feel that. When I deviate from an eating plan or a plan in general, it will always be at night. Morning starts off strong. I've got that willpower. I've got everything. But by the end of the day, I'm like, I did so well today. I'm gonna go have some Ben and Jerry's. It's fine. I'll do better tomorrow. Like all these little reasons why it's okay come in. And it might be because you're more tired at the end of the night. So again, willpower is less when you're tired. Willpower easily drops off with peer pressure, right? Your friend's like, "Oh, I'm in town. Let's go and like get a drink, do this, that, and the other thing." But you have goals and you made a promise to yourself, like, "No, I'm not going to be drinking alcohol. No, I'm not going to be overeating the sugar." But when your friends are like, "Oh, it's just one time. Like, I'm never in town." You're like, "Okay, okay." And you might put aside your goals for that peer pressure. So, what beats willpower? The environment you place yourself in, what's around you, and structure. So, putting in a plan. So, for instance, the meal prepping you all are doing because you have a busy week, that's the structure. That will help you do better than willpower will anytime. Are you all still doing okay? Okay. Okay, so I know this is mostly about sugar, but sugar is a carbohydrate. Very simply, carbohydrates in general, there's different kinds. And Michelle from last week talked a little bit about carbohydrates and, fiber and sugar and whatnot. And you're going to be learning more and more, especially with our guest speakers. But carbohydrates are our quickest energy source. Sugar is the quickest energy source. Sugar breaks down to its smallest form called glucose. So if you find something that has OSE at the end, it is a form of sugar. Glucose, sucrose, fructose, all those oses, those are sugars. So it provides energy to the body. It's quick. The brain thrives on glucose and sugar. So you need it for brain health. Carbohydrates and sugar are part of a normal human diet, and you need it to function and be healthy, but not in huge amounts. Sugar, particularly. The issue in the body is not about carbohydrates or sugar, it's how you eat them, in what form you eat them, and sometimes timing of eating them. And that's something we can continue talking more about too, as we get more into the month of nutrition. So carbs are not the enemy. We've been spoon-fed keto and low carb, and it's going to make you fat, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Not completely true, but needs to be person dependent on how much you eat, what kind you're eating, and when you're eating it. Now, for every single person, the recommendation in the nutrition guidelines and functional nutrition is you should be eating 30 to 35 grams of sugar, not carbohydrates, sugar per day. Now, if you actually track your food correctly, you will find sugar adds up very, very quickly in your diet. I did this last January, not this past month, the one before, because I was starting my prep. And I tracked my food and I thought I was eating really well. I was staying under, the amount of carbohydrates I should be eating. But when I look at nutrients, I was eating 50 to 60 grams of sugar a day. And I was like, really? So then you start diving in deeper. It's like, where's this sneaking in? Cottage cheese, the seasonings I was using, the sauces rather. Maybe I was eating the higher sugar fruits. I was like, oh my God, okay, make some changes here. Pay more attention. But it's crazy. So for all of you, start like looking at labels and seeing like where sugar's sneaking into your day. You'll be very surprised. Let's see. Oh, so the simple science of carbohydrates breaking down for energy in our body is you eat the carbohydrate, it breaks down using water and all these other processes, starting in your mouth, believe it or not. The saliva starts breaking down your food and carbohydrates, turns it into glucose, the most usable form of carbohydrates in your body, the quickest amount or quickest form of energy. That glucose triggers a spike in the bloodstream, blood sugar goes up. Insulin gets triggered to come and knock on the doors of cells. Basically, insulin will say, "Hi cells, we have blood sugar, we have sugar in the bloodstream and they need to come into you so you can use them." So that's what insulin does. There's receptors on cells, insulin will connect to them and it opens up the door, sugar goes in. Okay? So when we talk about insulin sensitivity, that's when all the receptor cells on all the receptor sites on the cells are filled up with insulin, and insulin comes down and it's like, hey, you need to let more blood sugar in, and it can't because it's already overcapacitated, and it's like the blood sugar keeps going up, insulin keeps going up. So then it's like, well, where the heck do I put all this sugar? That's when we turn into a problem, and that's when you start storing it as fat. It needs to convert to fat because it's like, well, we'll die if our blood sugar gets too high, so we need to convert it and store it somewhere else other than the cells that are going to be using it. So that's what they talk about these days about insulin sensitivity or resistance, rather, excuse me, insulin resistance. Is your body is just not using the sugar correctly, and insulin keeps going up and up and up. And your pancreas is like, white flag, I can't make anymore. I'm out. Done. So I hope that definition, that kind of made sense because it's leading to lots of metabolic disorders. I'm going off on a tangent, but I wanted that description and idea around our blood sugar to make sense and why, we're seeing a lot of like metabolic disorders such as diabetes, and now they're finding like PCOS and all those women health issues, even Alzheimer's. It's like these are blood sugar issues that the body is not handling because we're overeating sugar in our body, in our daily diets. Okay. Oh, I kind of already started going here. Okay, so when is this a problem? Issues start arising when your blood sugar spikes often. So not being stable in your meals, just eating like that quick jolt of sugar, whoop, big spike, big crash. Do it again, big spike, big crash. So your body can't regulate. Insulin comes in, now it's out. Insulin comes in, it's like, it's just too much spiking. So they're saying eating regularly and eating more complex carbohydrates that break down slower will help regulate the blood sugar, which regulates all the other hormones that come in and manage the blood sugar. When your meal is lacking protein or fiber, that is shown to have bigger increases in blood sugar because you're not using energy to break down other sources. It's just using energy to bring sugar into the bloodstream. So when you have protein and fiber on board helping out, it's like the body can focus on other things too. When you start using sugar to manage your stress, that's a problem. When sleep and stress are ignored, so they're finding that poor sleep and poor stress management leads people to eat more sugar, and the body with cortisol on board isn't using sugar correctly. So it stays in the bloodstream, and then again, the insulin spikes, and then it's resistant, and it's this whole thing. So getting really good sleep is really important, and managing your stress. Okay. Sometimes like, why did I write that? So why do we overeat sugar? It's everywhere. It's easy to eat quickly. It's not filling. It's often in liquids, like your drinks and everything. It's temporary, it gives you a dopamine hit. I feel like I already said all that. So why just cutting it out usually doesn't work for people? The all or nothing thinking often leads to restriction, deprivation, and then rebound overeating and binging because your body's like, well, where's the sugar? Where did it go? I need it. I feel like there's no food around. My blood sugar is unstable. So people who restrict it completely will rebound more often. So that's why the keto diets for people are really, really hard and not sustainable because you stick to it for a while, but then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, it's time to start integrating carbohydrates back into your diet, or you just fall into it. You're like, I need it again. And you just overeat it because your body's like, when are we going to get this again? We need to store it, stock up, eat it now. So you're getting all these cues from your body that just create cravings, and it's a slippery slope. So doing a method of not completely restricting, but managing and keeping awareness and eating your sugars with fibers and proteins is a better, more sustainable way to manage this. So again, like I was just saying, the real goal is not going zero sugar. It's not being perfect. Your goal is to create stable energy, which will lead to fewer cravings, creating more awareness around what you're eating, being more present with your food will have better control in your life around it. Lifestyle is better than diet. Lasting change comes from eating the regular meals, getting better sleep, stress management, getting movement, and creating a food environment that removes and decreases your cravings. Okay, so for this week, like I said, we're not going to completely cut the sugar out, We are going to swap one thing for another, though. So, the one swap habit. I want you all to think about where you're getting a high amount of sugar in your day. And I want you to switch it out with one other food or drink or whatever you need it to be. So, for instance, if you drink a soda, switch it with flavored sparkling water. If you eat a candy bar, maybe some Greek yogurt and some berries. Sugary coffee, reduce how much sugar you're putting in or add some protein into it. That's a new thing, protein coffee. I personally don't do that, but it's some people really love it. They're like, oh, I need more protein in my day. So they use their protein powder and they put it in their coffee. Um, I'm like a black coffee person, so that would just ruin it. Um, so yeah, take a moment and think about like, oh, where do I get a lot of sugar in my day? And then think about what you can exchange it for. That feels good. So why this will work is it's a small change. That's what we work on here. We go small, bigger effect. It'll build your confidence in managing something like this. Like, oh, I can actually do that. That went fine. And it avoids complete deprivation.
This is actually a perfect topic for me because I just got in Girl Scout cookies.
Oh.
I got in like, I don't know, 10 boxes of them, right? Because I have people here, kids. But anyways, I had to try every one of them. And so I started thinking about that. And so I just got some of the protein yogurts, the flavored ones, and I got some fruit, and that's what I'm going to switch it with.
Heck yeah. All right. Beautiful. What's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
My favorite one is the tagalongs.
Oh, okay. So what you could do is, so what I would do to kind of replace that is I would take a plain Greek yogurt, I would take peanut butter
Mhm.
powder and make it peanut butter
Yep.
flavored. And
Mhm.
then I would add in maybe a tiny bit of like something crunchy. It could be like crushed up almonds, a seed of
Mhm.
some sort, or granola does have a lot of sugar in it unless you make it yourself, but it could be like
Yeah.
something crunchy to make it like a tag along.
Yeah, I've been wanting to make my own granola. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, that's a really good option, like using maple syrup, and you can control the amounts of
Yeah.
sugar.
Yep.
Good. My favorite's Samoa's. Those are
Oh, that's everybody here. Those are all gone now.
yeah. So good.
Well, if you
I
don't have
have
time to make your own granola, you can buy Backroads granola.
I forgot. Yes, Liv is our granola girl.
You can buy what?
Perfect.
It's just a selfless, it's a plug. Backroads granola. That's actually
Backroads granola? Okay.
yeah, it's my family business and my sister and I run it now, but there's no refined sugars and it's just sweetened with like a tiny bit of maple syrup. We even have like an unsweetened one. So it does feel like a treat, and especially the paleo ones because you have less carbs if it depends, like, but I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I'm so glad you did that. I totally forgot. And
Oh,
yes, I'm all for shameless plugs. It shouldn't be shameless.
yeah.
So, like, girl, I'm all about supporting everyone. So, yes.
Drop the link.
Awesome.
Hi, Natasha. Hi.
I'm glad
I
you're
have
here.
a question about, thank you. I'm glad I made it too. I've been here for quite a little bit. That was a great presentation because I am super stressed and all I wanted is sugar. However, a question for like myself because I don't normally eat like my main sugar sources are fruit. I eat like a ton of fruit, and is that something I should like be eating like less of? I mean, it's mainly like blueberries. I have like an apple when I'm working. I don't do bananas all that often. Usually like a half a banana once a week. Um, and I do like blackberries and like raspberries, strawberries. Should I be switching that out with some things? I do like the Greek yogurt and like I do peanut butter powder too because I like to have like that's my sweet treat in the afternoon. Um, and I haven't been using protein powder just as like an experiment to myself to see if I can get my protein like from more like natural sources. I'm on week 3, so that's going pretty interesting. But yeah, is there something I should like swap out? Something I've been doing over the past week is I'm trying to like decrease my artificial sweetener. After we had that meeting last week, I've been like actively working on like decreasing myself like slowly. So maybe I could
Perfect.
keep that as my goal.
Yes, I think that's perfectly
Okay.
fine. And honestly, no, there are different levels of glycemic indexes for fruits. Berries are the lowest glycemic index. And what that means is glycemic index is a score that is given to certain
Yeah,
foods to tell us which ones spike our sugars the most. And berries
right.
are the lowest. So berries, and they have the antioxidants and they're colorful. So no,
Yeah.
those berries. Apples are pretty low too. You can pick lower ones. So like a green apple will have less sugar than like a Honey Crisp.
Oh,
So
that's so good to know because the green ones are my favorite. I normally have like Macintosh because that's what they have at my work, and we can like take as many apples as we want. So,
yeah, and there's good fiber in the apples and the skin. So no, you're picking the right fruits.
okay.
There is an overdoing in it, but if you track it and then look in your nutrient
Yeah.
chart and see like, okay, am I staying under 30 to 40 grams of sugar a day? Women, it's supposed to be 30 to 35, men, it's 40. But if you're 30 to 40 grams of sugar a day, you're in a really good place.
Okay. I don't know if I don't think that I am honestly. I haven't looked since my Fitness Pal like re-updated. It's not like as readily there. I need to like just look more into it to see where that was because I was pretty like diligent about that for like quite a while. But I think I probably eat more like fruits now than I was back then. Just because I eat a bit more like calories than I did back then. But
Yeah,
and it's just
no,
mostly coming like from fruits and vegetables.
I wouldn't cut your fruits based on what how you're explaining it. And when you
Okay.
do, it's like you're adding a protein because it's with Greek yogurt.
Yogurt. Yeah, or
Milk,
cottage
butter.
cheese.
Yep, perfect. Nailed it.
Do you
Okay.
have any other swaps for like, so my thing usually like midday when I'm at my desk is just like I do keep like a dark chocolate bar in there that has like caramel and sea salt in it. Like that's just like my,
Is that the
you know,
Ghirardelli one?
no, it's the cocoa, I think it's the Choco Love one.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
I get them at the
Sounds
co-op,
good.
but they're
Oh, okay.
it's so good. But
Mm,
like to me, a replacement of Greek yogurt with berries is not like that
not
is
the same.
not like the same in any way. So like I don't know if there's like another thing I could do that would be I'm not a huge sweet person, but like that is my kryptonite. So
Oh.
um you know, it's just easy like when I'm sitting at my desk, just like open the drawer and like grab that right there
Hmm.
and I'm just like so satisfied.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's like another substitute.
How much of it are you eating?
It depends on how much I have in my drawer.
Okay. So maybe you work on portion control of it and the environment of it. So that means I only will have one in my drawer today, and you put the rest somewhere else. So you have to like get up and go get it. And then at the end of the day, put it back in for the next day. Like
Right.
if that's the only little tiny thing you're eating in the day, you're probably fine.
You mean for sweets, you mean?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, dark
Oh, I
chocolate.
also have wine. I mean, I always have like wine at the end of the day. So like that I know counts as a sweet. So I'm just being totally honest right now.
It does. So, okay, which one would you rather keep?
Oh,
I mean, if I gave you my own personal opinion, if it's not like homemade organic wine like they have in Italy, without any like bad additives,
yeah.
honestly, alcohol to me is a poison. And it's holding people back from their goals and progressing in their body.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I had to choose one, I would let you keep the chocolate and then I would replace the wine with something else that's really soothing, like a tea or a decaf coffee or maybe a seltzer or I don't know. But if you don't want to be like bloated before bed, don't drink bubblies.
Right.
That's my personal opinion. I'm not going to force you to make that change, but
Yep.
I just wanted to let you know how I felt or what I think about alcohol
Okay.
and how it can interrupt sleep hormones and stuff, even just one glass a night.
Yeah. Agreed.
I love the transparency and the vulnerability there. So thank you so much for sharing.
Of course.
I
Yeah.
was the same way. I used to like a glass of wine at night, but I actually switched to a glass of hot tea every night. And I've gotten my husband even enjoys it. We both have a glass every night, and sometimes I have two.
Hmm.
And I've gotten so I really like it and try different types and stuff.
Yeah.
And to me, it's soothing. It kind of like winds me down.
Mhm.
I'm right there with you too. I do like herbal teas at nighttime, and it's like
Mhm.
part of my actually making the cups right now. My fiance, he does hot chocolate, but that's okay. He's a big sugar person. But it's nice to like have that, like you said, like an unwind at the end of the night to like it's a routine, you know?
Mhm.
It's like
Mm.
checking in me time, you know? It's worth a shot. If you hate it,
Yeah.
then switch out the chocolate, you know? But yeah.
This is my favorite tea if I'm craving
Oh,
sweet. Like
chocolate.
it's
Oh my
not,
gosh, I have peppermint too. Yeah,
yeah, this
peppermint bark.
brand is like
What is it?
chocolatey. Ticino. Ticino,
Chitina.
like cappuccino, but Ticino.
Okay. I
It's
have
at
the
the
Bigelow
co-op.
peppermint bark at the co-op. Okay. I'll have to
Mhm.
check that
And
out.
Amazon has it. They're a little pricey. But
Is there like a lot in the box?
this box has 25 tea bags, but I don't remember what I paid
Okay.
for it. I got it online. Um, because I don't live near the co-op anymore.
Right. No, yeah.
Amazon Amazon has them and they have a lot of different flavors, but like if you are detoxed from sugar, like if you're not like craving sugar all the time and you've really like cut it out, this will taste sweet. So when I was going through my prep and I don't eat a ton of sugar, like I had this, I'm like, oh, that's pretty chocolatey. That's pretty darn good. Um,
Mm.
and you could add like a splash of milk to make it creamier and yeah, pretty cool. And it's decaf.
So Kayla, I'm kind of like Natasha, where I eat a lot of fruit.
Hmm.
I was just looking in my Fitness Pal to see where my sugar is. And I hadn't set a goal, but based on my calories and my macros, it said that I should have 60 grams of sugar a day. So I just changed that to 35. But most of it was from fruit. I did also, and this kind of surprises me, but I get a treat periodically during the week, a Starbucks um, latte, vanilla latte with sugar-free syrup and soy milk. And it's saying it has like 21 grams of sugar in it, which I'm like,
Soy milk. Yeah. Oat
so
milk has quite a bit of sugar.
yeah, so that was just a little bit of a surprise.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I want to be clear too. Like we operate under the 80/20 rule. And what that means is like 80% following the rules and 20% deviation. So if you're doing that once a week and that's your cheat or your treat,
Hmm.
you're okay. But if it's like every single day and you
Oh
want it
no.
full, like it's really cool that you notice that and maybe making swaps. Like I believe almond milk would have less sugar.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Yeah, I'll have to try that. It's yeah, it's a good thing Starbucks is like 20 miles away from direction from where I am.
I know, right?
Yeah, because it has to be a treat.
Yeah, totally. But it's cool. It's just now we have awareness and we're looking at things a little differently. Like, oh my God, that has a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Well, I don't, my husband is the sweet person. Like, if you can imagine, I have to buy double stuffed Oreos for him because he eats those, and I just think those are the grossest cookies now, you know? Um,
I'm with you, Linda.
yeah, I know. I do like a McFlurry. I have to admit that I only buy it when I'm driving back from my mom lives down in New York. So I'll stop at the rest stop and that'll be my treat. I have thought about, well, there is a McDonald's right on Putney Road, but I just figured if I ever get one there, I'll never stop. So I've
Yeah.
never done it. I just leave it for when I'm on 95 coming back from New York. But so I'm not really a candy person. I'm a bread and cracker person. So, but for sugar, I like Natasha, I can eat a whole box of strawberries, cut them up and snack on them. And I do eat a lot of fruit. But my vice, I guess, is I get a latte every morning and I have, it's made at home with low fat milk and two Splenda. And then I have one Diet Coke a day. Some days I don't have any. So that I do have that, but I guess I'll look at the sugars in my in all the fruit, and maybe even the bread is pretty much homemade. My husband makes sourdough. So
Perfect. I was gonna say sourdough if you're eating bread is the best choice.
yeah, and then for crackers, I usually eat those crisp bread, those Swedish ones, or I eat the the gray box. They're like gluten free, made with rice. They're
Mhm.
I can't remember the name of them. So, but I'll look and see what my sugar intake is because, like, I was just thinking, well, I don't really eat candy or cookies. I mean, when we go out for dinner, we'll share a dessert, and I love a great creme brulee or a really good cake or something. But most days, I do have, I guess, my sweet when you get older, right? And to keep myself going, well, I'll have 3 dried prunes at night. So I should look at what those are.
You're so
And
cute.
and Liv, I had to stop drinking alcohol. I'm 67 now. Probably in my sick when like late 50s, I started to not being able to tolerate it.
Mhm.
So my kids make fun of me. And this Christmas, we got a whole bunch of different non-alcoholic drinks, but
Yeah.
they have a ton of sugar in them.
So
Yeah.
much.
The Negronis, they're good, but then I started thinking I could just make something myself with seltzer and berries. But so I'm just going to say if you enjoy your wine, there may come a time when your body will say it's not enjoying it anymore. And I've heard that from other friends that,
Yeah. I mean, I think that that's actually started just like it's hormonal stuff too. Like it
yeah,
just processes differently and
Mhm.
just hits differently and it's not like it doesn't feel enjoyable. And then the next day, it could be like
yeah,
literally one glass of wine and you just feel less motivated. You just feel a little like not as clear. And I have too much going on professionally really to, have that be
yeah. That's
something.
what happened to me. I just
Yeah.
felt like it wasn't worth it. The next day, I'd have a headache, and
Yeah.
every once in a while, I can get like a good cocktail at Peter Haven's if we have like a really good dinner or something. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'll get a French 77, but I have to
Yeah.
feel my body. So I was just going to say the alcohol thing starts to happen as we get older. So
Yeah.
thank
I
you.
agree.
That's
I
incredible awareness.
I also find one thing for you, Linda. I love crackers too, but I found down at BJ's they're called Crunch Masters.
Oh,
You can have 14 crackers for 130 calories, and
oh,
they have half a gram of sugar in them.
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
And where
So
did you get them?
they're at BJ's.
Oh, BJ's.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're really good and they're really flavorful. They've got olive oil in them, so they taste
Oh,
very savory.
Mm.
what were they called again?
Crunch Masters.
Crunch Masters. All
That's
right.
hilarious.
Yeah, they're really, and they are very crunchy. So,
Okay.
because I
Thank
love
you.
something crunchy, to eat. But I actually had to give up alcohol due to some health issues and some medications. But, occasionally I can have a glass of wine or something like that. And I did have a glass of wine last night with a friend. And I have to admit, I felt like crap this morning.
Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
My body just like, just
Mhm.
don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
The,
how
the,
I was too when I turned 59.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I'm fine with that. Most people are like, oh, can't you just have one? But I really don't care.
Also,
If
my friends, there was this, it's like drinking dirty and drinking clean. And there are wines that are like all, because like a lot of wines will have a lot of things that are in them that aren't even like wine products, like, and it's like dirty wine, right? But you can have like the organic, totally clean wines, like and they're lighter usually. So I feel like your body, if you are gonna have a glass, but what you always, aren't always on the menus, right? You'd
Mhm.
have to like order that specially or get it someplace special. But yeah, it's just replacing.
yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, alcohol, even though it gives us this like up feeling, like, ooh, I'm loosey-goosey, it's actually a depressant
Yeah.
and it's like the depressant effect is the next day. Like what Eleanor was saying, she's like, I just felt crappy. And like what you said, Liv, is I just kind of feel a little down, like a little like groggy.
Yeah.
That the depressant effect the next day. And
Right.
I've kind of why I don't drink either is like I feel anxious and down, and it's very obvious even after one glass the next day. I'm like, oh, okay, just get through this day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's hard 'cause, like socially, it's everywhere. And it's what everyone does. And like Eleanor just said, like, can't you just have one more? You get this little bit of pressure from people. It's like, no, I'm okay. I'm able to be here without the wine or the alcohol, and feeling secure enough in that decision is really important.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the other people that are more uncomfortable than you are, like that's how I
True.
always feel.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay with it, but other people feel like uncomfortable if you're not drinking with them. It's like, well, you have
Really,
I'm not gonna judge you. You want to have your drink, that's fine, but fine not doing that. So
yeah,
um
that's a really good point.
yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Well, any other questions, comments, concerns? Feeling good about this week's focus?
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
think honestly, if you don't have a swap, I think just creating some awareness around what you are eating and like, wow, there's more sugar in that. Like just starting to be curious, looking at labels more and just like thinking about what you're actually fueling your body with and, maybe making different decisions based on the new knowledge you gain on your curiosity.
Yeah. So I think it's good. I think when I moved back to Vermont from like New York a couple years ago, it is harder to find, like, it's just like I did buy the blueberries, but they weren't good. They were like the ones that I got from the co-op, even they were just like expensive and sour. It's like it's just
Mhm.
not as enjoyable. Like I really like my fruit when it's like summertime here, or like down there you just can get, like, it's just you just have more options for getting the fruit. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
I
Yeah,
hear
the
you.
fruit's been yucky
Yeah.
recently.
I know. I did get some good raspberries the other day at the co-op though. I was so shocked. I was like, these taste like candy. They were
Hmm.
so good. But
I've been buying frozen. It's not the same. Like,
No.
even though I got like one good bag, I'm like, oh, these are great and juicy. But other than that, I just tell myself that summer's coming.
right.
We definitely suffer in the winter time with any fresh
Yes.
produce.
Yeah. It's a little bit more of a challenge. But
That's so true. Hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm so proud of you all. Thanks for being here tonight. And as always, please don't hesitate to reach out. You have full permission to lean on me for anything you need. And tomorrow night, be here at 6:30 for Stephanie's presentation. That's going to be really a different, something new, something cool to kind of think about and listen to. So I'm excited to be there too. All right. Y'all all set? Feeling good?
Yep.
All right. Team break.
Good night, everybody.
thank
Night.
you.
Right.